Hello students, in today's lecture of an AC machine design, we are going to talk about the calculation of the leakage reactance. Okay. Now, first of all, when we start the calculations of the leakage reactance, we might or we should be aware with the fact that what is leakage reactance, and for that we need to understand a term called leakage flux. Okay. Now, in case of the transformer or the induction motor, you might have heard the word leakage flux. Okay. What happens? We are quite aware with the fact that whenever a supply is given to the stator winding, or in case of the transformer, when the supply is given to the primary winding, okay, it carries the current. Okay, what happens now? Due to the current carrying conductor or the coil, there will be flux that is being set up. Now that flux is known as a main flux, right? Now this main flux links with the rotor circuit, right? What happens? This main flux that is being generated due to the current into the primary winding or the stator winding links with the some part of it links with the rotor circuit, and some part does not link or links with stator itself, and some of the flux links with both stator as well as rotor. Okay, so this is the thing what happens when the flux is produced. Some part of it links with the rotor, some part of it links with the stator itself, and some part links with the both, right? So based on that, the total or the main flux is divided into two parts, that is useful flux as well as the leakage flux. Okay, now what is useful flux? As the name suggests, what happens? The flux that links with both stator as well as rotor winding is known as a useful flux. Okay, and the leakage flux, the flux that links only either with the stator winding or with the rotor winding but not both. Okay, it is known as a leakage flux. Now leakage flux is not desirable for us. Okay, what happens in case of the AC machine? The leakage flux affects the inductive reactance of the AC winding. Now we all are aware with the fact that the inductance is related to the flux linkages. So what happens when the flux linkages changes? The inductive inductance, and in return inductive reactance changes. So due to the changes in the inductive reactance of the motor or the AC winding, what happens? It affects the performance of the induction motor in various aspects like starting torque, maximum torque, starting current, etc., which are dependent upon the value of the leakage reactance. So this all, or the performance, we can say that the performance of the induction machine is depended upon the value of the leakage reactance up to certain extent. Okay, what now? So the calculation of the leakage reactance becomes an important aspect for us when we are talking about designing. Okay, so we need to calculate it accurately, but it is a difficult task. Why? Because in induction motor we know that there is rotor, there is stator, there is air gap, then rotor and stator there are slots, teeth at each places. The reluctances will be different. Okay, as the air gap length varies, that we have already talked. So what happens? It becomes very difficult to estimate the leakage reactance. Now various leakage fluxes, or the where the leakage flux takes place or is present, is given over here. Slot leakage reactance, that is for both stator as well as rotor, as I have told you. Then overhang leakage flux, zigzag leakage flux, and differential leakage flux. Okay, so these are the leakage fluxes that are present in an induction motor. Now here in this diagram you can see that this is a C-shaped core having an air gap. Now this is nothing but the air gap. What happens? A wire or a coil is wound over here, and when a current is passed through it, what happens? A flux is set up through this core, and this flux passes through this air gap. Okay, the flux passes through this air gap. Now this is our useful flux. And what is fringing? When the current passes through this coil, flux is set up and it bulges at the edges. This is known as bulging of the flux at the ends. Okay, at the air gap. This phenomenon is known as fringing. Now this is useful flux which is needed for us. Now here in this coil also the flux will be produced, and that flux will link with this coil itself. Now that is known as our leakage flux, right? So we are going or we are going to have the equations of each and every leakage reactance. First, we have seen there are 4 types of leakage flux available. Now, based on that, how much reactance or how can be the reactance of that leakage flux be calculated. So stator slot leakage reactance is given by XSS. So what it is given by 8 pi f Ts L lambda SS upon P into Qs. Now in this equation everything or each notation is quite clear, but only new notation is lambda SS. What is that? It is the specific permanence of the stator slot. Now what is permanence? You might permanence is nothing but the ease with which the flux can be set up through the ease with which it is nothing but the inverse of reluctance. It is nothing but the reluctance, and reluctance is nothing but the property of a material or a magnetic material to oppose the flux through it. Okay, and the permanence is nothing but the inverse of it. We can also compare in the same way as resistance and conductance. Okay, it is same way. In the same way, permanence and reluctance are inverse of each other. And then there is QE. Then QE is nothing but the number of stator slots per pole per phase, right? So this was about this equation is for the stator slot leakage reactance, in which lambda SS you should know what is lambda SS, and QE, that is the number of stator slots per pole per phase, right? So moving further, rotor slot leakage reactance. So what is rotor slot? We have already talked about the stator slot. Now the rotor slots, and that also we have transferred it to the stator side. In transformer also you might have done the numericals, or you have seen the theory in which you are transferring all the parameters either on the primary side or on the secondary side, and they are either multiplied or divided by transformation ratio, okay, that is K. So in this also what we are doing, we are transferring the rotor slot leakage reactance on the stator side. So the equation becomes XSR is given by 8 pi f Ts square L lambda dash SR, that is nothing but the equivalent rotor slot permanence referred to the stator side, and for that we have to multiply it with Kw upon Kswr square Sr upon Ss upon Sr lambda Sr. This is nothing but Sr is the slots in the stator, number of slots in the rotor. So this is the rotor slot leakage reactance when referred to the stator side. Now moving further, overhang leakage reactance. Now overhang leakage reactance is given by the equation X0 is equal to 8 pi Ts square lambda 0 L0 upon P into Qs. Now lambda 0 L0 is given by mu 0 upon mu 0 into Ks tau square upon pi YSS. Okay, for the full pitch winding Ks is equal to Ls. For the other fractional pitch winding, it is approximately equal to the ratio of the coil span to coil pitch, right? So this is the equation for overhang leakage reactance. Now the derivation is not provided, you have to remember these equations. Now moving further, zigzag leakage reactance. The zigzag leakage reactance is given by 5 by 6 xm by ms square 1 upon qs square 1 upon qr square. Xm is the magnetizing reactance, it is given by Es upon Em. Okay, and Qs is nothing but the number of slots in the stator pole per phase. Same way, Qr is number of slots per pole per phase of the rotor. Now the differential leakage reactance is given by Xm into KHS plus KHR. Now these are the constants for the stator and the rotor, and they depend upon the ratio of coil span to coil pitch. It is given here, ratio of coil span to coil pitch. Now this reactance is generally negligible for the squirrel cage induction motor. So now the total reactance is nothing but the addition of all the reactances, that is Xs is given by XSS, XSR dash X0, XS plus XH. Okay, now the total impedance of the induction motor at standstill is given by under root R square plus XS square, right? And when the rotor is blocked or the short circuit is there, what happens, the current for phase is given by Es upon Zs, and the power factor is cos phi s R by Z. Now how we are getting this, you have to remember an impedance triangle in which there is Z, this is R, and this is X, and so we are considering it for the stator, then it will be S. So this is phi, and cos phi SC is given by adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side is RS and hypotenuse is ZS. So you are getting the power factor cos phi SC is equal to RS upon ZS. So this was the calculations for, or the leakage reactance calculation for the induction motor, and based on that a numerical is given over here. So now here in a numerical, 75 kilowatt 3000 volt 8 pole 50 hertz 3 phase star connected slip ring induction motor. The data is given to us. Stator bore is 0.66 mm. Stator core length is that is main dimensions are given D and L. The number of the stator slots 96, number of rotor slots 72, number of stator turns per phase 286. Okay, total specific permanence due to the stator slot is 4.9 mu. No load current per phase is 6.1. No load power factor 0.095. Harmonic leakage reactance per phase is 0.9 ohm. Okay, so this is the data provided to us, and what we need to find is estimate the total standstill leakage reactance of the motor referred to the stator side. Okay, now first of all we need to find the slot leakage reactance. Okay, what we need to find is slot leakage reactance, and for that equation was xs is equal to 8 pi into f ts square L, right, into 4.44 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 upon p into qs, right. What we require is given or already provided in the data. When we place those equations or values, we will get the answer 9.9 ohm. Okay, now here the power factor is provided to us, that is 0.095, not 0.05, it is 0.095, that is cos phi 0. Okay, now from that we need to find sin phi 0. So here what we will do, phi 0 is equal to cos inverse 0.095. So we will get the value of phi 0 and we will place it in sin phi 0. So we will get the value of sin phi 0 also. So we have found out the value of sin phi 0. Now why we are doing this is we need magnetizing current. So magnetizing current is given by Im is equal to IE, that is provided to us 6.3, and sin phi we have found. So we get the value of the magnetizing current at 6.27 amperes. Stator voltage for phase is given by ES 3000 upon root 3. Okay, and then magnetizing reactance ES upon IM. So we will get the value 276.2 ohm, right. Now why we are doing all these things, because we need zigzag leakage reactance. The zigzag leakage reactance is given by the equation 5 by 6 xm upon ms square 1 upon qs square plus 1 upon qr square. Now this qs and qr are required, that we have already found here, that is the stator slots per pole per phase and rotor slots per pole per phase. How we are doing this, because here we are provided with the number of stator slots and the number of rotor slots. When we divide it with by the phase and the number of poles, we get stator slots per pole per phase, right. So we get the value of qs and qr, and when we place these values, we get the equation or the value of the zigzag leakage reactance xz is equal to 4.4. Now we are interested in the overhang leakage reactance, which was given by the equation L0 lambda 0 is equal to mu 0 ks tau square upon pi yss. So tau is required. How we will find tau? Tau is nothing but the pi d by p. Okay, tau was given by pi d by p, that we have already seen earlier. So when we place those values, we will get the value of tau, and we place those equation or those values, we get the equation of L0, that is overhang leakage reactance as 0.987 mu 0. So overhang leakage reactance is given by the equation, and when we place all those values, we get the value as 4.0 mu, right. Now the total leakage reactance is the addition of all the four leakage reactances that we have found. So when we sum up that, So when we sum that up, what happens? We get the value of the total leakage reactance. So in this type of numericals, it becomes quite important for you to remember the formula of each and every leakage reactances. Then only you will be able to solve this type of numericals, right?